What are we talking about?
I'm lost. I don't know. I forget.
Guys, today what I wanted to talk about is when is it a good time for you to sell your silver and gold? Coming up. All right, so Mr. Hen, I know that you always think it's a great time to buy silver and gold. Obviously, you're a little biased since you are a dealer, and I also I love silver and gold, and I'm a dealer too. So I always think it's a good opportunity to buy.
But when's a good time to sell?
When's a good time to sell?
You know what? Most of the people that I see sell it, it's usually in like they're in a financial pickle.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know. That's when you get stuck in a situation like that, it doesn't matter if you're up or down on it. They just need the money to, which is a shitty situation to be in. But,
right.
I guess when you're up on it is always a good time to get out.
And how high up should you be? So, like, let's say somebody bought.
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Depends
so, like,
on,
right,
a lot of factors involved.
So, like I told you, like mid 2000s, I bought 4 ounces at $900, and then I started buying again 2017-ish. So prices then $1,400 an ounce, $1,300 an ounce. So now I'm up by $800 an ounce. Even more so because you got some of the coins that I have are premium coins. So I could essentially make $900 an ounce. So wouldn't you say that would be a good time to sell? Like, think about if it was a stock that you bought and you're up $900 per share.
Yeah.
So when's it a good time?
There's really no right or wrong answer. There's a lot of factors involved in it. You know what I mean? Why didn't you get out of that situation? Did you sell? Did you profit take? Or?
No, I didn't.
You still own it.
So part of the reason, a couple things. Number one, there's something about having it psychologically, like knowing.
You can show people and say, I got this at $800.
There's that too. Like,
I was right.
But having that, because that's like your stockpile of security and insurance. Like, there's value there. If you need it for financial purposes, like you were saying, like it's there. You can just sell it off, and you can you've got it's a form of savings. So there's that. It's a lot nicer to look at than a pile of cash, in my opinion. Just looking at the gold, but I feel like. I don't know. I feel like that would be one of the last things. Like, it's a good question. Like, why didn't I sell it for profits? I don't know, because I just always want to stack gold, I think.
You just want more.
I just want more.
Yeah,
like
some of these people, they buy for all different reasons. So, I've had people, like I said, sell for financial hardship. They need the money to come up with something. I've had people sell large amounts of gold to acquire real estate. Trade cash out to invest in something else. Some people
sense.
Buy to leave it to their family. They have no intentions of selling it. Right. Then their family comes and sells it for nothing.
Right, because they don't know any better. So like ultimately my goal, like I envision myself. I'm 44 now, so I see myself stacking for another 20 years, right, until like retirement.
No intentions of selling.
No intentions of selling until like retirement, and then at that time, I feel like I would be selling it off in bits and pieces as like supplemental income.
See, that's the thing too, with metals. You can only sell 10 ounces if you want. You know what I mean? To have a little bit of capital on hand or whatever, and you could hold on to the rest of your stack. You don't have to sell everything at once.
Right.
You don't have to liquidate your entire position.
Right. That's my thing. Like, but. Some people are like, you're crazy. You should sell that.
You know what? I think I said this in one of our last videos. When it hit 21.82 last week, I sold everything I owned.
Right.
And 2 days later, had just as much metal.
Why? Because you just bought back.
It's just busy. A lot of people selling right now.
And
took in a ton of gold eagles, gold buffaloes, and was right back up to what I had.
And that's another important point too, because from what I see from a lot of stackers, and you read a lot of comments, like a lot of people get very attached to their collections, and they get attached to their metals, and I get that, because like for me, selling off some gold, they're like, ugh, but at the same time, it is so easily replaceable.
It's so easy to buy and sell.
Yeah, gold buffaloes and gold eagles, gold maples, gold Krugerrands. I mean, there's millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of them, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like
sure.
20 million a year, 10
I
million.
literally
don't know. There's just so
liquidated
many.
every coin, anything I had in my safe, and within 48 hours, I had just as much back.
Now people
You
will
know?
say, well, that's because you're a dealer, which is
Yeah,
true,
no, which is
but
true, but it's that much.
it's always moving
available.
around.
Yeah, it's always moving around.
So like for me, like what would I sell first? Like I have a comic book collection. I have a Garbage Pail Kids. I have a whole bunch
Out
of
of
these
all of them,
things.
what would be your last thing to go? You think? Comics would go first. No,
No, like so
stuff
gold,
like that.
gold and silver. I would sell my gold and silver first
before your comics.
before the comic books,
Oh, what are you gonna do?
because
with
the gold and silver
Right.
is more easily replaceable than the comic
right.
books.
That's a good
Same thing
point.
with like the Garbage Pail Kids, and it goes to also like I know in terms of the ease of selling, it's easier to sell your
Right,
gold
just
and
like
silver,
that.
whereas like the
It
Garbage
might
Pail
take you
Kids,
forever to.
yes,
Or you sell
Or
one
I'm
or
gonna
two,
lose.
you'll be stuck with the lower quality ones.
correct,
Or, you know.
and I'm gonna lose money on it. Like I was already looking the other day, I was looking at my wall of comic books. It's like, I'm curious. How much money did I lose on this one? Let's look at the most recent sold price on eBay. I'm
God.
down on my wall that I have. I'm down about 30 to 50%,
Oh my God.
depending on.
Dump them things, man.
No, because I want to watch them drop even more. They're gonna go even further down into the toilet. And it's just easier to sell gold buffaloes because then a month later I could just buy more gold buffaloes.
Right.
Whereas the comics, like maybe I got a good deal on one of them, and you won't get that same deal. So
You know what? I'd love to hear the comments. If anyone had any, any advice to our followers, if when's a good time to get out, when's a good time to sell,
Yeah.
or if you have any personal experience, selling your own.
I have one friend of mine who's a high net worth individual, and
High net worth individual.
high net
I like
worth,
that.
and he had a ton of gold, and he sold off quite a bit of it. I know he still has some,
Right.
but he sold off quite a bit of it because he saw gold going to all-time highs, and he said, "I'm going to be patient and let it come back down,
At
and then
1900.
I'll be back
What is
in."
that? What, you don't know.
I don't know, but I know he bought it when he was up.
Right.
The other thing too, though, that I view gold, and I've seen it before, is like, and I've seen it with stocks, is like, especially with me, and I like when you sell, thinking that maybe it's going to come back down, and it just doesn't.
Right.
That's happened to me with some stocks.
I
That's
hear hundreds of Bitcoin stories.
yeah. So that's
another
that's the thing. So it's like, do you really want to sell everything off because you want to just make a quick buck? And plus, stackers, they don't have faith in the dollar also. So that's the other thing, which is interesting with this group of people that watch this video, is like a lot of people will say that like the dollar's worthless, keep your gold and silver, whatever. But then when things are at like all-time high, some of them will just sell it because like, oh, I want to make my profits. It's like you're kind of going against what
The type of product you stack matters too. People come
Yeah.
in and let's say they want to buy a 100-ounce silver bar. I always try to advise them to buy 10 ounce bars. That way you don't have to sell the whole 100 ounces
Right.
when it's time to cash out. If you only need it a couple $100, you only have to sell a few of them or whatever. You could still keep 6 or 8 of them and still have some position in the middle.
Now, going with that thought, though, when everybody is looking to buy gold and fractional gold, do you think they should be buying the 10th ounces too for that same reason?
Generic. No, I would stay away from Eagles just because it's the highest premium coin.
So like maples or something? Or?
Nah, listen, gram bars. Nah, gram bars are high too, but I see Horarius quarter ounce. They're pretty low premium stuff. You know what I mean?
So
there's
would
a couple,
you say?
I think Valcombi too has
yeah. So if somebody came to you and like, Andrew, I have X amount of money to spend. Should I
Depends
just
on the
buy
dollar
all? Well, should I just buy all 1 ounce, or should I do things in quarter ounces? Because it's the same argument. Because think about a 10th ounce gold eagle, maybe $250 right now. So you buy 10 of those,
be 2,500.
it'd be 2,500.
Yeah.
But isn't the mentality the same as like when you were saying with the silver bars? Like, look, you're going to buy 10 bars at 250 as opposed to, it's the same thing.
Right.
It's just they happen to be these gigantic bricks. So I think, at least with gold, for some reason, I think that people should stick with probably the quarter ounce or higher. With silver, I think I'm with you on the 10 ounce or higher, or if you're into the collecting.
Foreign gold too. It gets bad reputation. A lot of people stay away from it, but man, you could buy it cheap.
Yeah. The francs, you're talking like francs, you're talking
francs,
about sovereigns.
Sovereigns.
The problem with that stuff doesn't sell as well in the States because people are so used to...
They want American stuff.
They want American stuff, one. Two, I think their brains... Mine too, you know me with the math, like when they're like, oh, this is 0.48216 ounces of gold. It's like
you write it on the bag, you put it in.
Yeah, no, but it's just like these obscure numbers, whereas it's easier with like eagles. Oh, it's a 10.
Come up with that?
The Europeans, the crazy Europeans.
Because you ever see one of these charts? Like every coin is a different, different actual gold weight.
And Mexico too, with all their Dos pesos is 0.043, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I can see where that gets confusing.
And and wasn't it? Yeah, you and I were talking about how people get confused a little bit with gold buffalo with the gold eagle. How the gold buffalo is 1 ounce of gold.
Right.
The eagle is 1 ounce of gold, but you also have other trace metals, copper.
And it weighs more than an ounce.
What is it? Is it 9.6? I forget the purity of the gold.
The $20.
The gold eagle.
The $20 libs are 9675.
9675, right?
Pre-33 gold. I don't know what an eagle is.
The gold eagle?
I'm not sure off the top of my head. It's an ounce of gold. I know that. But,
yeah, no, it's not.
They weigh a little bit more.
Well, shit, go on there and.
Man, I don't know where to find that shit.
Go on. We're the pros, guys.
It's an ounce of gold.
It's
That's
an
all
ounce
you need
of
to
gold.
know.
Exactly. It's just got other. There's some people that I always find this comment funny. They're like, "Oh, I always get the gold eagles because not only are you getting the ounce of gold, but you're also getting that extra copper too."
Yeah.
Like it's such a minuscule. But hey, if that's what makes you feel good and you feel like you got yourself a deal, then go for it. Go for the eagle. But guys, I've got nothing else for you on this one. So
let's wrap it up.
We'll wrap this one up. Check out this man's website, please.
Bayshore Bullion Exchange.com.
And I'm EmpirePreciousMetals.com. And we'll see you on the next one.
Have a good weekend, guys.